Hello, my name is Beatriz Martins, and I'm here with Mafalda Rosinhas and Sara Duarte, and we're going to talk about higher education as a business in the United Kingdom, in which we will analyze briefly the educational system, and then why do people choose the UK to study, the work-study culture, the impact of the international students, and also employability. And the influence of higher education on the British economy. Across the United Kingdom, education is developed differently in each of the countries that belong to the UK, having separate systems under separate governments. Education is compulsory for all children between the ages of 5 and 16, and there are 5 stages of education, including early years, primary, secondary, further education, and higher education. Further education may be used in a general sense to cover all the non-advanced courses taken after the period of compulsory education, and higher education is obviously a higher level than in secondary school, and in which an academic degree is obtained.
According to 2020 and 2021 data from the Higher Education Statistics Agency, there were more than 600,000 international students pursuing their degrees in the UK, as you can see by the graph in this picture. It has been increasing ever since 2014. This shows how popular the British higher education is. But what makes it such an appealing country for international students? First of all, we can say that the UK is a welcoming and multicultural, tolerant country. You'll find people from almost every corner of the world. It offers a wide range of degrees from art and media, business and management, and media studies. Besides, you can usually complete an undergraduate degree in 3 years if you study full-time in the UK. A master's degree usually takes 1 year, and this is in contrast to other countries such as the USA, making it appealing not only for the time that saves students, but also the money that saves in tuitions. The UK has also an amazing academic reputation and quality to match. It's known as a country of academia. For international students, it's an ideal place to study, having an amazing experience doing so, and enhancing both their personal and professional curriculums. Universities have centuries-old history in Britain, like Oxford, and are ranked among the top world universities. Besides, UK universities are inspected regularly by the Quality Assurance Agency for Higher Education. This ensures they maintain excellent standards in learning, research, and teaching. Besides that, we have a work-study culture that might make it appealing for international students. First, when people moving for the UK on a student visa, they usually need to work during their studies in order to financially support themselves. A student visa allows students to work for a specific number of hours. As a Tier 4 visa holder, students will have to abide by maximum weekly work hours in term time. For example, non-EU students are only allowed to work up to 20 hours per week while studying, but while you're on vacation, there's no limit. And EU students are allowed to work as much as they want. This is before Brexit. Then there's life after graduating, that's making studying in the UK probably more appealing. So, the UK post-study work visa. The UK is introducing this new graduate route because they want to continue attracting the best and the brightest students from all over the world. The UK post-study work visa, also known as New Graduate Route, allows international students to stay in the UK after they finish their studies for up to 2 years and seek employment. So this was launched in the summer of 2021. And so international students that enter the UK in the 2020-2021 academic year or later on will be able to apply for the post-study work visa in the UK. This visa policy cannot be extended, however, and if you find appropriate employment during these 2 years, you'll be able to switch to skilled work and remain in the UK. This is one of the biggest advantages of being an international student in the UK, because after you finish your studies, you'll have the opportunity to seek work in your area and stay in the country that you study and work in the area that you like. And I think this is a very good incentive for international students. And of course, for the UK is also great, because they're receiving all this skilled workforce from all over the world.
Now, talking about the impact of international students and visitors in the United Kingdom, universities attract a substantial number of international students throughout the United Kingdom every year. And according to the 2020-2021 statistics from the Higher Education Statistics Agency, there are currently about 605,000 students pursuing their degrees in the UK, which is equivalent to 24% of all the higher education students. This means that international students contribute a lot to the British economic and social prosperity, both in short-term and long-term, while studying and after they graduate. Over the last 2 decades, the strength of the higher education sector and its attractiveness to international students has been supported by the government, as most father has referred previously. And the money spent by international students in the UK is an important source of export earnings, and it also generates economic activity, which contributes to the UK GDP and supports jobs and tax revenues, which Sara will talk about later. So we estimate the economic benefits of international students in terms of tuition fee income generated by international students studying in the UK, as well as the induced effects throughout the UK economy associated with UK university spending, like staff, goods, and services, the income associated with the non-tuition fee expenditure of international students, for example, living costs, and the income associated with the spending of friends and family visiting international students while they are studying in the UK. There are a few benefits that cannot be considered in a general analysis because of the difficulty that is measuring some of these benefits in monetary terms and providing robust evidence, such as tax revenues from international students or their dependents while in employment in the United Kingdom, the long-term investment, business, and trade links from hosting international students, the soft diplomatic power exerted by the UK on an international stage as a result of the networks built up during their stays, and obviously the wider cultural and societal impacts associated with a more diverse population. The difference between the costs related to European Union students and those who are not from European Union is primarily driven by the relatively higher tuition fees charged to those who are not from the European Union countries. So we can conclude that the contribution of international students goes far beyond their financial value, with their research demonstrating that these students are also ingrained in the city's life, working and volunteering in hospitals, charities, and schools, as well as enriching British culture with music, food, dance, and language events throughout the year. In this first graph, we can see about 76% of international first-year students in 2018 were from outside the European Union, and 24% being from the European Union other than the UK. The top 3 countries are China, India, and United States of America. In terms of study mode, the vast majority of international students in this research, about 93%, were studying on a full-time basis, with only 7% of the students undertaking qualifications on a part-time basis. Considering the level of study undertaken, about 52% of the students were undertaking taught postgraduate degrees, with a further 6% of students undertaking postgraduate research degrees. Around 42 were engaged in undergraduate qualifications, of which 36 were undertaking first degrees and 6% were enrolled in other undergraduate qualifications. As you can see in this graph, in terms of location, London is the most requested place, as well as South East and Scotland.
Now let's talk about a very important topic, that is the employment and unemployment. Let's start with the employment and unemployment of graduates, and then we will talk about employment profile of the UK universities. In 2018 and 19, ESA's Graduate Outcomes Survey, 80% of respondents were in employment or unpaid work, including 11% were engaged in both employment and further study. 19% of graduates were in further study, including those who were in both employment and further study. 8% were unemployed, and the average graduate salary in the UK is £30,000 since 2015. Now let's talk about the employment profile of the UK universities. On 1st December 2019, as we can see on figure 4, there were 223,525 academic staff, excluding atypical, employed in the higher education sector, showing an increase of 3% from 217,065 on 1st December of 2018. There were 146,780 academic staff, excluding atypical, employed on full-time contracts. This is an increase of 2% from 143,510 on 1st December of 2018. Another important topic is the influence of the higher education in the economy. Higher education, as you all know, makes a fundamentally important difference to the individuals through improved life chances and opportunities, to the economy through innovation and skills, and to the society by increasing our knowledge through research, discoveries, and increasing social mobility and cohesion. On figure 5, we can see that the English universities and the international students and visitors they attract generated in excess of £95 billion of gross output in the economy in 2018 and 19, and support more than 850,000 jobs. In GDP terms, the sector grew by around a quarter over 5 years to £52 billion. Universities support additional employment and economic output through their purchase of goods and services from other sectors and through the expenditure of their staff. These are known as indirect and induced effects in the economic literature. Universities also attract substantial numbers of international students, as Beatriz has talked about previously, who in turn attract further visits from friends and family, leading to further spending in the economy. Data from ESA reveals that 400,000 international students spend substantial amounts of money on tuition, accommodation, and subsistence while in the country. It's estimated that more than £450 billion of overseas visitor spending is attributable to international students studying at English universities. We have reached the end of our presentation, and as you can see, higher education as many creates impact at all levels, and I hope you have learned something. I hope you liked our work. Thank you very much for listening.